Hey everybody, and welcome to History Recolored. I'm going to set up a little series here that I've got going on that I'm recoloring, and I'm going to add some commentary to it. This particular series is called Court of Human Relations. It was a series that was put out back in 1959. You can think of it as, interestingly enough, like an old-time People's Court or an old-time Judge Judy, where there's no real judge or jury, but more or less a panel that is mulling over certain situations that occur in real life. And based on that situation, they make recommendations as far as how to handle the situation that is in front of them. Now, some of the topics of the time in 1959, which was 66 years ago now, were very controversial. I'm going to let this episode speak for itself, but I think it's a series that you might enjoy and reflect on times past and help to be understood how different things are today than they were back then. And then if you really think about it, or are they? So without any further ado, here's the show.
There are two sides to every story. The National Broadcasting Company presents the vivid drama of life itself. Broadcasting's original program of mediation, the Court of Human Relations. And now the man who has familiarized millions of people with the idea of mediation helped to make it a creative force in American life. A.L. Alexander.
Gentlemen, there are some people who are understandably shocked by the realities of human existence, but I think as this case develops and all the parties are heard, we'll understand the honesty, and as I became acquainted with the background and the facts, the unconscious pathos in this case. Now, you are the complainant?
I've come to settle the difference between my husband and myself. It's concerning my freedom and 2 children and a marriage.
How long ago did you meet this young man?
2 years ago.
And how did you find him? Did you find him understanding?
Yes, I did. And very ambitious and promising to be a good father and husband.
And at the time that you met this man, did you have a child?
Yes, I did. I had a son.
And do you mind if we ask you whether or not you were married to the father of the child?
No, I was not.
Yes. And you explained that to this young man?
Yes, I did.
And he was very cooperative and he decided to marry you?
Yes, with the promise of adoption for my son.
Yes. Now, after a year, what happened?
Well, he stopped working, he got sick, and after that, it was the constant bickering of not working, my going out trying to locate work at night so that I'd be able to take care of the children. At that time, I was already 7.5 months pregnant with another child. After the child was born, the same thing occurred, no work. We separated. He came back with the promise that he would be a faithful husband and assume the responsibility of a father. After a certain few weeks, I found that this was also...
Well, in any event, you left,
false.
Didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yes. And what is it that you want now?
I want to settle this so that I can remarry to a man that has shown me that he wants to be a father to my children, and also that he wants to assume the responsibility of being a father, which my husband has not.
Have you found such a man?
Yes, I have.
As a matter of fact, are you living in a community with your children, one of which is this legal
Yes, I am.
husband of yours? And
Yes,
this
I am.
man is recognized as your
As my
husband?
husband.
And you find yourself in a very serious situation?
Yes,
Now,
I
did you go to your husband, and what did you tell him?
He had full knowledge of what has been going on. I've been with him 4 months already.
Now, did you go to this young man, your legal husband, and tell him of the situation?
Yes, I did.
And did you tell him that you wanted him to divorce you?
Yes, I did.
And did he agree to do it?
No, he did not. He refused.
Now, what do you have to say about this?
I'll try and make it short, Mr. Alexander. When I first met Judy, she had her first child, like she said. And I fell in love with the girl. And to me, the first child didn't make no difference. So we went ahead and got married. For the first year, we lived quite happily together. But after a while, we started become Judy. I happened to become sick at the time. And I happened to notice Judy starting to get sort of...
Yes, well, I suppose
hard.
we're not involved and we can understand the stress, but
sir.
let's dispense with any names.
Oh, I say, I'm sorry.
Yes. Now, did this young woman who is your wife walk out on you?
Well, not at first.
Well, at last, did she walk out on you?
Yes, she did.
And did you break up your apartment?
I did, sir.
Yes. And did she come back to you and ask for a divorce?
Yes, she did.
Do you want to give her one?
No, sir.
Why not? She says that she wants to regularize the relationship, that she wants to give the children a legal father, both children.
Well, I don't think this man that she is with, supposing she is with, could make a legal father to the children.
I beg your pardon?
I do not think this man that she was with could make a legal good father to the children.
Do you
Because
think
I love my two children very much.
could you
And
make
the first one, which is my wife's, just as much as my own.
And as far as you're concerned, you feel that she should continue to live the way she's living now?
Well, if she doesn't want to try and make a go of it, yes. I mean, going out, I used to worry about my wife. There's plenty of times I didn't know whether she'd be home or not. There was cases where she didn't come home all night, and she'd be out half the day. I would be losing jobs on account of it.
Well, if she didn't come home all night and she's found a man that she's close to, and this man is supporting her, you mean to say that you feel that that's perfectly all right?
No, sir.
We have had constant bickering. The children were physically and mentally disturbed because they weren't getting their rest. They weren't getting proper treatment. I could not assume the responsibility of trying to take care of them during the day as a mother should. But I did my best in trying to support the house.
Yes, well, we know that you did. Now, there are several questions we want to ask you so the mediators can understand the background of the situation a little better. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yes, I have. I have 3 brothers and 1 sister.
Yes. You didn't have any father?
No, I did not.
And did you run away from home?
Not exactly. Due to the presence of another man who was supposed to take the place of a father, I was forced to leave home.
And were you placed in an institution?
Yes, I was. I was placed in an institution for 3 years.
Was it a reform school?
It was a correction school, yes.
And what was the charge?
Due to the circumstances at home and also from truancy from school.
Well, now, what about the child that you had before your marriage to this young man?
Well, that was under false pretenses. We were going to get married, and I found that he had been married in the church, and even if he did get his divorce, he would not be able to be a full husband to me because of the church ceremony. And
would you consider it a sin to have him get a divorce on account of you?
yes,
But he was the father of your child.
that's right.
Do you love your husband?
No, I do not.
Do you love this man that you're with at the present time?
Yes, I have found everything I've ever hoped to find in a person in him.
Just one more question. We don't want to burden you, and we can understand the stress under which you're laboring. But can you give us some idea of your early home background? When you had questions to ask your mother,
Well, I couldn't confront her with any questions because at times one I'd be down the street, another child would tell me, well, go ask your mother what certain things were, and I met her with a
Certain things about life?
Yes, facts about life, and she assumed. She didn't answer me. All she did was smack my face for asking.
What did she do?
She smacked my face for asking.
And did you ask her any more?
No, I did not.
Ever again?
No.
Well, gentlemen, I think that we want to fill in all the blanks here that are possible, and while this is not specifically related to the issue, I think that any additional information that you can get about the background of this young woman would be helpful in coming to some conclusion as to the ultimate decision. And I've asked the mother of this young woman to be here, and I'm going to ask her if she won't appear and tell us something in the presence of these mediators. You are the mother of this young woman?
Yes, I am.
We understand that you're here under circumstances of great stress, and I know that you want to cooperate with us so that this can be a helpful proceeding. This young woman, who is your daughter, left home. She states that there was a man there that she couldn't get along with, and the home atmosphere was not congenial. She was placed in a correctional institution. There was a child under unfortunate circumstances. How do you feel about all this?
Well, under the circumstances, I don't see where I'm to blame. I was left with 3 children. Without an income, I was ill. I took a man into the home to support the household. And in a short time...
Why did you do that? Just for financial reasons?
Well, I really had no choice. There was nothing I could do.
Well,
I had no funds. I had no income.
we understand that you have a couple of children by this man.
Yes, there was a boy of 7 and a girl of 5.
Do you see this man now?
No, I do not.
Why not?
Well, he started drinking very heavily and became very abusive. And there was quite a bit of friction in the house. He used to take out a lot of his anger and temper on the children when he'd be drinking.
What did he do?
I forcibly had to restrain him quite a few times from kicking over the oil heater, putting the house on fire. He also kicked over the baby's crib when she was about 3 months old and she was in it. He also held the boy out the window at one time, threatening to drop him.
Why did he do all these things? Outside of the fact that he was under the influence of liquor, but he had some particular motive.
Well, there were certain things that he wanted me to do, and I'd refuse to do them, and that was how he would take it out on me.
Well, now, the purpose of this proceeding is to clear up some of the confusion that exists and explore all avenues of the issue. We're going to ask you just a few more questions, and I know that you'll understand the spirit in which these questions are put to you. You had 3 children.
Yes.
Who are 2 brothers of this young woman?
Yes.
Were you married to the father of these children?
No, I was not.
I can't hear you.
I was not.
Well, as a matter of fact, they had 3 different fathers, didn't they? Weren't there 3 different fathers?
I'm sorry, I refuse to answer that.
Well, the purpose is not to in any way disturb you, except that I think the mediators would like to understand the background of this case. Well, will you answer this question? Were you married to any of the fathers? Well, may we ask you this? You have 2 sons. Were both of these sons in correctional institutions?
Yes, they were.
For what reason? For armed robbery? Did both serve terms
Yes.
for armed? Is one of them in prison at the present time?
Yes.
Now, the purpose of this questioning is not to in any way embarrass you. We've taken certain precautions so that your identity is not revealed, and I trust that you understand that, and we appreciate that there were many aspects in the background of your life that were trying and difficult. We simply want to explore the entire picture. Would you tell us something about your own background when you were a little girl?
I was one of 5 children. My mother walked out. She left us when I was 8 years old. A few years later, my father died, and I've been on my own ever since.
Well, I've brought this out, gentlemen, only so that you see the background in this case, and I think it's now essential that we return to the specific issue. Dr. Eddy, are you of the opinion that the complaint of this young woman is justified? She wants to straighten out her life. You've heard the response of the man. What do you think this girl should do?
Me, sir?
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Alexander?
What can she do, as far as you're concerned?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I'm still in love with my wife. I would like her to come back. If she thinks I was a bad husband before, which I was not, as far as I'm concerned, I like to come back, and I try to make up for what she might have thought that I was.
Well, let's assume that she
Because of my children.
doesn't want to come back. What can she do then?
As far as I'm concerned, she could go back up to the country where she is and stay up there. But as long as I can see the children with every couple weeks or so, be okay with me.
And just get along the way she's getting along?
That's right. That's correct.
And that's perfectly satisfactory to you?
That's right.
Dr. Eddy?
Well, apparently this young man recognizes the hope of his family coming back is a lost cause. And apparently he is refusing to give this young woman a divorce, not just almost out of spite or resentment or something of this sort. My feeling is there's only one solution to this problem, as complicated as it is, and that is that he should, in all fairness to himself and to his children, give this young woman a divorce, let her establish the home which apparently is promising of happiness and the care of the children, which he's unable to give them, and still have the right, as he's expressed, as we discussed in another case, of visitation.
Well, Dr. Peel, do you agree with that?
No, I'm sorry, I can't agree with that. I tell you what I see here. I see 3 intelligent people, and I see a very bad and unhappy background. Now, this mother, I can see, realizes that the past has been very bad. She doesn't like it. She had trouble before her time. The daughter is having it. Now, if the daughter goes from her legal husband, who treated her like a gentleman, into a situation which itself is bad, it's a long continuation of the bad pattern that has existed for many years. Somebody ought to arrest this and start anew with decency, even though you have to build on an unhappy foundation. This man that she's living with at the present time represents an adulterous, wrong relationship. Her husband is perfectly within his proper rights in asking that she return. He loves her. It's hard to understand why he does, after he married her with an illegitimate child to begin with, and she's living in an adulterous relationship. The only thing about this husband is that he has a sort of a unforgiving mean streak if she'll not do what he says.
As a matter of fact, what is it that you told me she could do?
As far as I'm concerned, if she goes back there, she could stay up there and stew in her own juice.
Well, I don't believe that he's right in saying that. But he does love her. He gives her the chance to have a decent, legalized, normal marriage relationship, and I think she ought to try to adjust herself to it and correct this long-term bad family situation.
Well, Dr. Davis, we understand the sentiment of Dr. Peel and his disinterest in breaking up a marriage, but the facts are realistic here. What is your considered opinion after hearing all aspects of this case?
Nothing that I can think of seems to answer all the demands, and almost anything doesn't seem to be quite the thing that one wants to do. This girl, very attractive and with very fine sentiments and certainly fine dreams for the future, has had a very inadequate training, but she doesn't seem to be competent for almost anything that can be suggested. He would like to tear down the whole structure that has been built and cart away the debris and get new material and start all over again.
Well, Dr. Davis, we
can't do that.
understand that this has been a most unfortunate case, but specifically there is an issue here, and the issue is, should this relationship be regularized, which could only develop as the result of a divorce, and there are legal grounds for it. This would not be a collusive situation. Or should she continue the way she is? You don't want to go back to this man, do you?
No, I do not. I'm very unhappy with him.
Dr. Davis?
I would like to have some competent marriage counselor or other person have an opportunity to talk to this girl, hoping that she might become reoriented, working toward a continuance of the present marriage. But if that can't be done, and I quite admit that there doesn't seem to be any likelihood here at the present time, if that can't be done, then I think it will be to the best interest of all concerned to have her freed from the present marriage and for her to marry this man whom she loves and who presumably wants her to be his wife.
Well, I think the board is agreed that the basic consideration here is the welfare of the children. Too much hasn't been said about that, but I'm sure that that's inherent in the situation. There are children here, and innocent children. And it's clear anyway, Dr. Peel, that a marriage where the wife takes refuge in another man's home over a period of months obviously is no marriage at all. And whatever sympathy may exist for the husband, it seems that to refuse to permit the situation to be regularized brings him no conceivable good, and certainly brings disaster to the lives of the children. Now,
there are some things in life that are more important than children, and that is the steady, constant deterioration of a family line. It'll go on from generation to generation, the sins of the fathers being visited upon the children, unless somebody arrests it sometime and stop doing wrong. And this girl is doing wrong by living with this man in adultery. That's what it is. You can't name it any other name. It's wrong. And she should return to her husband and live with him. If they can't do it, after a decent try, and a year and a half or 2 years isn't a decent try, she's just not happy. That doesn't impress me at all. She should be a woman. She should be strong. She should think of the children. And then if after a decent time she can't stand it, then she can get a divorce, but she can live right until she gets it.
well, Dr. Peel, you feel very strongly about that, and I think...
It's not only this case, it's thousands of cases like this. I'm unhappy with the man, therefore I'm going to leave him. That impresses me not at all.
Would you volunteer, Dr. Peel, as a realistic matter, to have the organization of which you're the head to follow up this case and see to it that this girl does have some consultation and some supervision? It seems to me, if I may say so, rather unrealistic to say that life isn't what it should be, and this girl hasn't behaved as she should, and it's the family line. The fact remains that that's the way it is, and you can tell a person who's hungry, don't be hungry, or a person who's nervous, don't be nervous, but there are reasons for this sort of thing.
Well, the reason is this woman, this mother, despite her bad actions, is a strong character. She has something to her. There's something in this woman. Therefore, there's something in this girl. The main thing here is that this girl achieve her own immortal soul. She become a strong, real person, and she'll never do it this way.
And how do you do that?
Well, if you want to let her find God. Let her go to God and get her life straightened out in her own way, whatever her church is. And if she hasn't one, let her find one. Let her face life honestly and say, what is being a decent woman like? Now, she has it in her. She really has. I can see it. I'm impressed by her. But she's she's giving in to the weaknesses.
And would you undertake to help her?
Certainly, I'll help anybody I can. Be delighted. So would Dr. Davis, so would Dr. Eddy. I'm sorry to more or less disagree with these men because I bow before their superior wisdom, but I think that once in a while they're
Well,
wrong.
I don't disagree at all about the need for a new slant on life. I indicated that a moment ago. I feel that the girl hasn't had a fair chance. I think that she can learn things that will be a tremendous help to her. However, I'm a little more realistic than Dr. Peel, I think, when I see some very grave difficulties in going back to this marriage. This marriage has been broken in a very disastrous and complete way, and to expect this young lady to go back to this man, or to expect this man to go back to a woman in view of what has happened since she left him, I think that's expecting a great deal.
Dr. Eddy?
Well, I'd have to reaffirm in very definite, positive manner that, in my judgment, Dr. Peel's recommendation is wishful thinking in face of the grim realities of this situation, not in the sense of finding God or getting all the help and counsel you can. But this young man has been unable to support his family. He says that he loves the woman and the children, and yet to force a young woman to go back to the situation that she left, I think with some justification, not that the manner in which she solved her problem is justifiable, is only to prescribe something that is unrealistic and unlikely to happen and prolong the agony and the distress. I'd like to see this young woman and the new husband to be, I hope, and the children have a chance to regularize a situation that apparently is working. And then with all the counsel and help and support any of us can give, to rebuild on that basis, not to go back to a basis foundation that's already wrecked.
Well, Dr. Peel, that seems to be the majority opinion of this board. I think it's understood that whatever happens, this young woman with the most unfortunate background must have help and the kind of consultation and the kind of inspiration which would make a radical change in her life. But as a realistic matter, the majority of this board feels that with all the miserable history, which simply can't be thrown down the drain and which exists, that you simply can't make people care for each other if they don't, and that it would hardly be in the public interest to insist that she go back to a man she simply doesn't care for. I'm going to see that she contacts you immediately after these proceedings, and I don't doubt that a new deal is essential in this situation, and certainly there must be some different view of life so the future will be ensured. But the majority feels that the situation should be regularized and whatever is necessary should be done in order to do it.
In a moment, case number 3442.